I know it's late. It's a late one. But I still need you to get in here. Come on in, family. The room is safe. The temperature is fine. The water is fine. You can come on in. I want you to tune your ears to this podcast tonight. The most powerful download that I'm going to be giving since I've been doing the downloads for the podcast show. I need your full, undivided attention. Your wisdom that I'm about to let loose here is nothing short of divine sound wisdom, doctrine, knowledge. I first like to just thank you and welcome everybody to the room, to the podcast. I like to thank everybody for joining me here. I like to thank everybody who tune in to listen to this download and feel that I have something insightful to be able to share with you. My goal and my mission today is not to become your go-to guy for all the answers, nor am I here to be your pastor, your teacher, your guru. I am simply just a messenger of God. I am a messenger of God. I believe my mission on this plane, I like to call it a plane because planes are designed to take you somewhere, to take you higher. I believe my mission on this plane is to bring you sound wisdom. Wisdom and doctrine that can be backed up. Wisdom and doctrine that can be fact checked. Wisdom and doctrine that can be vetted. I believe my mission here today is to bring you sound wisdom and sound doctrine. Doctrine that can be, again, fact checked. My goal is not to get you to do what I'm going to do with my personal life. But the goal here at Qonsciousmindz universe is to allow your mind to, or at least allow your subconscious mind to hear me. Because when you join me on this platform, on this podcast, you are not joining me. You are not joining me for a listen in or a talk. You are joining me for information. You may not care for what I'm going to share as a being consciously listening, but I don't want you here for your conscious mind, although Qonsciousmindz is what I'm after. But I just want you here, whether you're new to the platform or you're oldie to the platform. I want you here because I want to speak to your subconscious mind, which is the place in which things are lodged and kept sacred for later use, data that can be reached back into later on. So you can hear this now and say to yourself later, I heard Prophet Emoji say that. I heard the Prophet Emoji say that. And I didn't listen to it then, but I hear it now. Sometimes, as the great spiritual doctrine of all spiritual doctrines, the holy Biblios, the Holy Bible, so speaks about our greatest teacher, our greatest informer, our greatest way shower, Jesus the Christ. It says that You will not be accepted in your own town. It says that a man is not accepted in his own hometown. So it may take a few times for those who are in close proximity to me to understand the knowledge, or receive the knowledge, wisdom, divine teachings that I am passing along. So see here, divine, I want you to understand this, that the message today is not about who is speaking it. Understand me. It is not about the sound of my voice. It is not about, I don't know if my voice is pleasant to you or not, but it's not about the sound of my voice. It's not about how I inflect certain words or emphasize certain sentences like I'm doing right now to make myself sound more truthful. It's not about how I captivate you and mesmerize you and be so charismatic with my words. It's about the words that you hear. It's about the message. It's about the message that you hear. It's about the words that are shared, not about who's sharing them, not about who you think you know that is sharing them, but it's about the words that are being shared tonight on this podcast, on this broadcast podcast download that I'm doing. This is a new era beginning, not for me, but for you, divine. So I want you to get this. I have been receiving many light codes. And light codes is another way of saying, in a funny way of saying, information. I have been receiving many light codes from the great divine of them all, our highest self, which we call God. I have been receiving many light codes for many years, since 2006, when I lost my son. I had a awakening to life. My son died a violent, tragic way that you can never imagine. One dying, one passing, one transcending, one transitioning. My son was 4 months old and transitioned from this plane to another plane. And I say plane, when I say plane, I'm speaking planet, because this planet, if you remove the T, it is just a plane. Planes take us places. So my son came to this plane and went higher to his highest self, to another plane, because that's what planes do. They take you higher, they take you further, and they take you to your next realm, to your next destination. We live on a plane it. Not a planet, but a plane it. So understand this, divine. When my son came here, he was only coming to one destination. And he got on another plane. He left. He got on one plane, came to this plane, and when he transitioned or went to his next destination, he only took another plane out of here to his next destination. Now I'm sharing this, that my son passed and transcended and transitioned into his next destination from a tragic, brutal house fire. Was trapped in a house, and the house caught on fire, and he passed. This isn't a testimonial topic today, but this is a topic about why the topic here is why you are at war with yourself, divine. And I want you to understand something, because these podcasts are going to get deeper and deeper and deeper and intellectually challenging for you to open up your mind so that you may receive the light code, the information. Now I want to share with you, divine, something real important that you need to get. That was 2006. My son went to his next destination. I just turned 35, and again, I'm a person that don't count numbers on this etheric realm. on this earthly realm, I'm sorry, but I count numbers on the etheric realm. I count numbers on the celestial realm. But for the sake of being over your head right now, I am 35. I just saw my 35th lunar moon, July 3rd. I just hit my 35th lunar moon, July 3rd. And I share this with you, divine, for a purpose. From 2006 until now, it's been 12 years. 12 is the number of completions. 12 is the number of a complete cycle. You need to understand the importance of the number 12. 12 is the important number of the complete cycle. Also the number of studenthood, studentship, discipleship, which is why the great teacher and the greatest way shower, Jesus the Christ, gave us 12 disciples. Because it was the number of a complete cycle. It was the number of the lunar year, 12 months in the calendar. It is the number of a complete cycle. Now, I want you to understand this, divine, that I'm going to be getting on topics like this many more from this point on. I had an awakening in 2006. And now it's 2018, 12 years later. And I've been on a search and a journey from that point to this point. Through trial and error, through getting it right, through getting it wrong, through successes, and through, I don't look at things that's failures or call them failures, but I like to call them lessons. Through successes and lessons. So don't use the word failures anymore. Use the words lessons, because that's what they truly are. There's no such thing as failure. There are only lessons. You learn from what you did not accomplish. You learn how to do it better. It's called the process of elimination. Now, back to my point before I get into this heavy topic. I have reached the complete cycle from 2006 till now. From my awakening to now, I have reached the complete cycle of the 12-year journey, the 12-year mark. And this is what I want you to understand, divine. That when I awoke in 2006, I didn't understand what to call it. But I now, having came into a full cycle, and let me explain what a full cycle is in spiritual terms. Because there are 12 laws of the universe as well that you need to understand and go and pick up and learn those. What the 12 laws of the universe is. And I'm going to give you one of them today for this message. When I had hit my complete cycle, my lunar moon, July 3rd, that made me 35 years old, or 35 moons, 35 lunar moons, okay? Now, I want you to understand this, okay? I was given this prophecy. I was given this prophecy to be a communicator. And no one's going to strip and take that from which the Most High gave me. You know, I want you to understand this, divine, because this is what the message is about today. I want you to understand this, divine, that to reach your highest self, I like to say elevate your mind, which is the shirts that I love to wear all the time you see me with. To reach your highest self, to elevate your mind to your highest self, to take yourself to another plane. Okay? You need to fess up to who you truly are. I am the prophet of God. Now, that may make some of you laugh and that may be funny to you, but it's a serious topic to me and a serious matter to me as of right now, because I've reached my full cycle. I've reached my 12 complete full cycles. And until you undergo a 12 complete full cycle of an awakening, this is important. Until you undergo a complete cycle of an awakening, 12 years of intentional seeking, searching, and understudying. Intentional, not just lollygagging, not just, willy-nilly walking around this earth and 12 years happen to pass you by. I'm talking full 12 intentional years, seeking and searching and discovering and uncovering truths and false and realities and spiritualities. Going through the motions, cycling in, ciphering out. What is your walk in this life? What is your divine purpose in this life? For every year of that 12-year mark, I stayed the course. Like Paul said, I finished the race. I now am the prophet of God because I completed the intentional race. And the message of today is, this is why you are at war with yourself. So when I took this understudy, especially of last year, 2017, when I took a trip around the country to a couple states and I visited with scholars and I sat and talked with the the ones that you see on TV, the ones that have raised your pastors and taught your pastors. I sat and went and talked with these scholars of the biggest theological seminaries in the country. I took that journey intentionally to get answers and discover and uncover truths and realities and spiritualities. And here's what I found. That every theologian that I had a conversation with, that I've had dinner or lunch or breakfast and coffee or tea with, every theologian that I traveled around the country with last year and sat in their office and had a deep 2 or 3 hour conversation, understanding this thing called life, this spirituality thing. When I went and spoke with these men and women, every single one of them who were, first of all, coming from the same doctrine I bring to you, who were, first of all, coming from the same doctrine, the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, because I was looking to get explained God to me. And you know what I found, Divine? Here's what I found. Now, out of all 12 of those teachers and theologians that I met with, I found that there was not one who had the same message as the last one I spoke to. Not one. Meaning they were all different with their thesis and their beliefs. They were all different with their thesis and their theology and their beliefs. Coming from one book. Yet there were many different teachings and many different theologies and many different theses, many different doctrinal beliefs. Every single one of them had a different belief. And so this is why you self-destruct. And I'm about to explain that because this is the topic today. Here's why you self-destruct. This is the topic today. And I must finish my point before I go into this podcast for this episode tonight. When I searched out those teachers, I was getting different messages from each and every one. Had a different belief. Can you believe it? They all had a different belief. At least a different way of seeing the way that God was interpreted. And so here's what I understood. Some was liberal, some was conservative, some was radical, some was revolutionary. It didn't matter. They were different. But here's what I come to grasp with. As I took the journey intentionally, listen to me when I say the word intentionally, because I had my eyes open when I was awoken. And I went on the search. I went on the journey, seeking these answers, meeting with scholars and going to many different churches. I have a poem. In the poem, I say, I've been to 10 different churches and I heard 10 different sermons. You understand? In 10 years, I went to 10 different churches and heard 10 different sermons. Meaning that they were all preaching differently from the same Bible. So here's what I come to understand, Divine, that you are going to, I don't want to say that word fail, because I don't use that word. I want to say fall, because that's the word. Not fail, because I'm using these two words differently, not interchangeably. You are going to fall, not fail. I'm not talking about failing. I'm talking about falling. You're going to fall from grace, which was given to you by the greatest teacher of them all. And I speak of the greatest teacher of them all is, to me, Jesus the Christ. Now, I'm no pastor, no theologian, no. I am the prophet of God, the emoji. I like to call myself the emoji, the enlightened messenger of God. Now, again, I went through my 12 years. I completed my cycle. I finished the race. I kept the faith. And I completed my journey. Here I am 12 years now in. At my 12 years now in, I've completed the journey. And I just had another awakening. On my 35th lunar moon, July 3rd, that just passed. I had a awakening similar to that of which when I came into the journey 2006. And I heard the voice from my higher self say, Divine, you are the answer you seek. I don't know if you just heard what I said, but I'm going to say it again slowly for you. Because I think I just said to you, you are the answer you seek. So I am the prophet of God, meaning I have the message for me. For me. I have the answers and the message for me. No one else is going to provide that answer for you. I'm not here, Divine, bringing you answers. I'm here bringing you information. There's a difference. I'm not telling you, my biggest pet peeve? My biggest pet peeve is when I'm a reader and I love books. My biggest pet peeve is how-to books. I hate how-to books. I hate the steps to this or the 7 steps to that or the 15 steps to this, how to do this or how to do that. I hate books like that because they're trying to apply their answers to their life, to their walk, to their path, to me. And we all are put here on a different path. Why? Because we are all genetically different. Meaning, if you look at the DNA codes, and this is why forensic science is such a successful science, and they can find out who a killer is, because there is DNA that is always left behind on the crime scene. The DNA is the information. So what I'm saying to you is, Divine, is that your information is not my information, nor is my information your information. Your information is your answers. My information is my answers. Just like my information, if left on a crime scene, is the answer to the forensic scientists who can find out who was here and committed the crime. I leave answers and clues behind because DNA is information. So when you come on this journey, my information cannot be your information. I went on a journey. I just spoke to you and said this. On my journey, I went to 12 different scholars. These are top scholars, theologians of the biggest theological seminaries in the country. And every one of them, when I was seeking out answers, every one of them had answers. And when I came across my 5th lunar moon, just July 3rd, I heard the answers come down. And it was said to me this: you are the prophet. Now, what is the prophet? What is a prophet? Who is a prophet? The prophet is one with answers. The prophet is one with answers. The prophet is one with answers. Answers for who? Answers for you. Answers for me. Not you, but me. Me. You understand, Divine? Because I have reached, and you will have to do this too. You're going to have to reach. This is why it's important when you hear that phrase, I kept the faith. I finished the race. I understand. I finished the race. I kept the faith. Huh? Paul said in the scripture, I finished the race. I kept the faith. Because it's a journey for you, divine. It's a journey for you. Here is why you self-destruct. Because you need to understand the laws of polarity. If you do not understand the laws of polarity, you will always, always, always fall. That's why I don't use the word fail today, because we're not talking about failures. It's a non-vocabulary word to me anyway. So I don't use the word failures, because failures are lessons. They're not, I don't understand why we even come up with that word. There is no such thing as failures. There's only lessons. You learn from what you don't achieve or accomplish. That's it. Back to my point. You need to understand the laws of polarity. Divine, you will not get the answer from me, but you will get information from me, which is what I'm doing today. I don't claim to have the answers. I don't claim to be your master teacher. I claim to be a prophet. A prophet is one with answers for me, because I finished the race. I kept the faith. And the more and more and more I took this journey, the more and more and more I started to awaken. The more and more and more I became enlightened. Hence the reason why I named my website The Enlightened Poet. And I believe that my journey is for me. I am the enlightened messenger of God, believing that because I have the answers for me. The information is inside of me. The DNA genetic codes are inside of me. Once you understand that DNA is nothing more than genetic, DNA is nothing more than information, then you'll understand that you have the answers in the information. That's why I'm bringing you not answers, but information. Not answers, divine. Information, divine. Every time I bring you to this podcast, I bring you information, divine. Never answers. I don't tell you how to, because I hate the word how to. It's me claiming to have the answers for you when I don't. When I don't. I have the answers for me, and I have the information for you. And I'm going to show you through the information, through my information, by me doing what's best for me, by me living out my information. I'm going to show you and also inspire you that the answers are inside of you. And then you don't have to look for me and look at me as the one with the answers. You'll know, whoa, if he can do it, then so can I. You're right. You're right. But it's going to take you discovering the answers for your journey through looking within at the information inside of you. This is why I emphasize and make an importance of meditation. When you meditate, you receive light codes, you receive codes, you receive answers. Your brain starts to snap. The power of your heart starts to snap, and it starts to release all kinds of endorphins in your body that starts to show you images and visualizations. This is why you hear in the scriptural text that my people perish because they have no vision, or they lack a vision. And the vision isn't something that you look without. It's a vision of going within. You have to go within to see, because the answers are within, divine. You have to go within to see. Take some time out throughout your day and just close your eyes and be still and meditate. Now, once you understand the laws of polarity, you'll understand why you self-destruct, why you are at war with yourself. You are at war with yourself because you have no understanding of the law of polarity. Well, let me, the prophet that I am, let me, the one with answers, not the answers to you. That's why I speak very carefully when I speak. I didn't say, let me, the one who have the answers for you. I said the one with answers. Whether they fit for you or not, it's just how you choose to use them. But let me the prophet, the one with answers for me, okay, answer this. The laws of polarity. Just like, you understand something? Just like a battery, okay? What is polarity? You understand that there is no, the polarity is this. There is no hot without cold. There is no positive without negative. That's a polarity. The polarity is polar opposites of one another. There is no male without female, okay? You got the yin, you got the yang, you got the male, you got the female, you got the negative, you got the positive, you got the cold, you got the hot, you got the sweet, you got the sour. That's polarity. And here's why you are at war with yourself, Divine. And you don't manifest true wisdom, knowledge, information that you need in your life. Because you are so one-sided. You're so one-sided. You're so one-sided. It's hot with you or it's nothing else. Or it's cold with you and it's nothing else. Or it's hate with you and there's nothing else. It's something one more than the other, and more so just that one and not the other. This is why you fall, not fail, but fall. You fall and you are at war with yourself, and you keep seeing and you keep having to what? Pick yourself up from the ground constantly, spiritually, emotionally, mentally. You keep having to pick yourself up from the virtual ground, Divine. Why? Because you have no understanding of what the laws of polarity is. It's to give and to take. Now watch this. Watch this. You need to understand that every thought or intention has what? Two components. What is those two components, Prophet? Yeah, because I told you this. I won't answer to nothing else. You can laugh at this, or you can make fun about this, or you can say you crazy, you out your mind. But I realized when my 35th class the other day, and I woke up again, which was, you couldn't even wake me up any more than I already was. But I mean, I reached another plane on this planet. I reached another plane. I said, whoa. Now I got to own my power, my truth, my information. I have to own it. And so I could be the prophet of me. I don't have to be the prophet of you. I'm the prophet of me. I'm the prophet of me. I am the enlightened messenger of God for me. Now watch this. Getting back to my point. Every thought or intention has two components, and I explained this. What are the two components? Content and energy. Content and energy. Watch this, Divine. Manifesting love is, watch me, to manifest love in your life. You have to do what? You have to make yourself vulnerable. If you want true love, because here's something you need to understand, Divine. You need to understand this. That when you lie, you're not lying to somebody else, you're lying to yourself. When you steal, you're not stealing from somebody else, you're stealing from yourself. You're doing all, listen, this is why you are at war with yourself, Divine. This is why you are at war with yourself. Because you don't understand the law of polarity. You think that stealing is stealing something that has, you think that stealing or lying, there is no opposite of that. There is no opposite effect of that. You think by stealing, you just took and nobody knows or nobody sees, or there is no effect. That's also the law of cause and effect. But the law of polarity says that there is always going to be a, what is it? Sir Isaac Newton said that a action and a reaction. That's polarity. Action, reaction. So when you steal, Divine, you are stealing from yourself. When you lie, Divine, you are lying to yourself, because there is no action without reaction and not repercussion. Not action and repercussion or action and consequences. Action and reaction. The reaction is to you, divine. The reaction happens to you. The reaction is soon as you steal, soon as you lie, soon as you cheat someone, you have immediately did nothing but the opposite. This is what I love about the law of polarity, because it said that hot and cold is just a continuum of one. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm getting chills right now talking this right now. I don't know about y'all, but I am straight up getting chills because I'm bringing this power. You need to understand that hot and cold is a continuum of one. Huh? A continuum of one. Like when you turn on your faucet at your house and you turn on the water cold or hot, you don't have to go to two different things. Turn on hot water over here and cold water over there. The same water is running out of the same faucet. That's the continuum. The same water is running out of the same faucet when you change temperatures. That's the continuum. That's the action and reaction. That's the polarity. The polarity is this. When you steal, you stole from yourself immediately. So this is why people say karma is a bitch, right? Because it's true. Karma is. Karma happens the moment you do something and cause something to react to what you just did. Karma is, what I just say, karma is you doing something or causing something to react to what you just did. Action and reaction, divine. Here's why you are at war with yourself. Here's why you are at war with yourself. Because you continue to think that hot water and cold water runs in two different faucets. You continue to think that the positive and the negative on the same battery is on two different batteries. You're not connecting the two, divine. You're not connecting the two. Positive is on the same battery as negative, and positive is on the same battery. Hot and cold comes from the same faucet. You don't put in a negative battery in your radio Walkman or your remote control. You don't put in a negative battery and then a positive battery. You put in a battery that has both. You are the cause of your warring with yourself. Why? Because you are one-sided. So when you're looking to manifest love, you don't manifest love. You know why? Because you're not doing what it takes to manifest love. What does it take to manifest love, prophet? Let me explain to you then. I'm getting used myself to calling myself prophet because I got to get this ingrained in my soul because it's real to me. This is so real to me. This move after having reached 35 lunar moons, this move in my life is so real. It's so authentic, so real to me that I won't tolerate nothing else. I won't tolerate anything else. I just won't. I won't have it. I won't tolerate it. And so this is so serious to me. This teaching, this knowledge, this information is so serious to me that I care enough to share it with you so that you can have an awakening, not of my information, but of your information, because I am a reflection of you. You are a reflection of me. I'm talking to myself when I talk to you. I'm talking to the information inside of you because I understand that we are a community, right? We are a community, just like your cells, just like the 6 trillion cells inside your body. In order to operate, when you say to your brain, move my hands, your brain sends a signal to the body nervous system that says move the hands, but the cells have to coagulate and operate and communicate together to do that. And that's called being a community. These cells are in commune with one another. They are in communication, in a community with one another, which brings unity. It brings everything together. Divine, so watch this. You are at war with yourself because there is no unity with yourself. There is no community with yourself. There is no communion with yourself. No communication with yourself. You need to understand that you and I are one. Now watch this. When I speak to you, I understand that I'm speaking, that I understand that the information inside of me, the DNA information inside of me is waking up the DNA information that is dormant sleep in you, so that your information can be activated. This is to activate the information in you, so that when I speak, I'm talking to myself. I am talking to you, divine. I'm talking to myself, the information inside of you. Because we live on a humongous living organism, which is called planet Earth. We live on a organism. Everything on this planet is a living cell organism. Every single thing is a living cell organism. And we are just one within the body of the plane. I take the word planet and say planet, okay? Because it's a plane. Planes are designed to take you somewhere. Okay? And this is what this plane is doing. It is taking us somewhere, but you cannot listen to me. You want to know something? I got to tell you this. You got life, you got death. Let me tell you something. Death is more beautiful than life. And let me help you understand this. You may say, what, Marcus? What? You going out your mind. Death is more beautiful than life. You know why? Because death is it's like going on a vacation. It's like taking a actual plane to a beautiful destination spot. This is a plane that you live on. This plane that you live on is designed to get you prepared. You are a passenger on this planet, like you are on a actual plane. You are a passenger on this planet. And you're going somewhere. You are taking a long extended ride to somewhere. And when you transcend from this plane and reach your destination, that's when this physical plane that you see and you hear me in, this will pass. But you don't die. You are truly immortal, be honest with you. You are immortal. You go on to live on the next plane because that plane is designed to take you somewhere. So watch this. You are at war with yourself because you don't understand that the law of polarity is what? There is two components: content and energy. Content and energy. Content, the plane, content, the plane, content, the information, content, the information, energy, you. Energy, you are the energy source of the information. You have the content inside you who is the energy source. This is why I say this is why I said in the beginning that you have the answers in you. The answers are in you. I came to my highest self, to my highest awakening 2 days ago after my 35th supposedly birthday, or I like to say birth, meaning BEARTH, like birth with the word earth in it. Birth. My birthday, since my earth day, my birthday here, I've woken even higher to my highest self. Understanding this information inside of me now and what it's designed to do. And so I bring to you the law of polarity, because you need to understand why manifestation, my people perish for the lack of a vision. You understand? This is why your so-called dreams and your most, and all the things you want to do, this is why they never manifest. Because you're one-sided, divine. You're one-sided. And to see, listen to me, watch me, I'm about to get deep. To manifest like something like love, you got to do what? You got to do the opposite of love, not hate, but love is to be open. You got to open. But what makes you keep yourself closed off? Not hate, but let's not say hate, but let's say what is it called? A binding. A binding. You bind to things, past relationships. You bind yourself to past relationships, past hurts, past things. You bind yourself to them. Whether it be out of anger, malice, jealousy, hatred, whatever it be. You bind yourself to them. And so the law of polarity for you never works. Because you are only having an action. You are only having one-sided. But watch this, Divine. You must make yourself vulnerable for love to come into your life. And what that means is you must open yourself truthfully. You must come out and be truthful with you, because what did I say? When you lie to someone, you're only lying to yourself. When you hold back, when you're entering into a relationship, you are holding back on how far that relationship can take you and go, and how deep you want intimacy to be. Because you hold back, and because you hold back and not open up, because you're not vulnerable, because you don't open up. This is why I don't mind coming here being vulnerable for you guys. I don't care. I will be vulnerable all day long for you. For those who are scared to open themselves up and show a little bit of flaw or vulnerability, I will be vulnerable all day long if I have to get this out. And so you who don't allow yourself to be vulnerable when you meet a new person, and you hold back, and you don't open yourself up, and you don't, and what I mean by holding back and don't open yourself up is you already got intentional thoughts in your mind. What is the first part of that I said? What is the law of polarity? It is the polarity of intention. It is of an intention. And so you hold back on the intentions, Divine. You hold back on the intentions of good. You hold back on the intentions of good, of high possibility, of what this relationship could be. You hold back on the greatest possibility for the relationship. You hold back. And so therefore, the reaction happens, because that's the law of polarity. So the reaction happens means what? Then you and that partner lack great communication. You and that partner cannot see eye to eye. You and that partner barely spend personal time together, because you refuse to open yourself and be vulnerable. By just being vulnerable, not letting out like your past history. Hey, I slept with 100 women before. I slept with 100 men before you. Not that kind of open, but the openness like, yo, I'm going to give all my mind, all my time, all my energy to you. If this is what we're going to call this, if we're going to call this a relationship, or we're going to at least make this something that we want to be a relationship out of, or something official, then you have to let go of all inhibitions, and you have to open yourself up and be completely vulnerable, Divine. You have to, in order for the law of polarity to work in your favor, in order for the action, because it's by action that you give and you get the reaction of that. So if you give the action of withholding and hindering yourself and binding yourself to things of the past or information, then guess what? The reaction of that happens. Then your partner doesn't let out, because you know, what did I say earlier? Because you are a reflection of that person. I am a reflection of you. You are a reflection of me. Your DNA is information that is communicating with other communities, like the information inside of that partner. The DNA community information inside of that partner. We are reflections of each other. And so when you communicate, you're communicating on a cellular, molecular level. Hear me when I say this again. When you communicate with your partner, whether you are not being open and and vulnerable as you can, you are communicating on a cellular, molecular level. And so your partner picks up on those vibrations. Now watch this. Polarity is what? Content and energy. So watch this. You can basically shape your life how you want to. You can cause the intentional way of life to go your way however you want to. You can be very intentional and cause life to work in your favor. If you truly want to be rich and have money, you truly can. There is nothing, no one that is stopping you from manifesting $1 million if you really want it. 2 million, 10 million, 100 million. There is nothing manifesting you from doing that. Or nothing, nothing stopping you from manifesting that. The reason for me not having $1 million is because I know that that's not what's for me. Because I seek my highest self. And to do that, I cannot sell my soul. Because you don't have to be an entertainer to sell your soul like in the entertainment business. But I cannot sell my soul to anything, listen to me, to anything that is going to drain my energy. Or let me say it the way that polarity speaks it. I cannot sell my soul to any content, information, divine. I cannot sell my soul to any content, which is information, divine. I cannot sell my soul to any content that will drain and take and strip me of my soul, which is my energy. I cannot do it. I won't do it. So therefore, I don't have $1 million because I won't sell out to the way of what it to the way of pursuing and what it takes to pursue that. I am interested in reaching my highest self, and that takes something more than a pursuit. That takes a being still, divine. That takes a being still. And to be still, you ain't manifesting nothing, because even the greatest script, even the greatest doctrine on this planet says what? That it says that you what? I'm about to lose it now. Hold on, come back to me, come back to me. Come back to me. All right, it's gone, but I'll get it back. I'll get it back. I'll get it back. But one of the doctrines, I remember it's going to come back to me. But I don't seek those things out. I don't seek out the financial restitutions of this planet. Okay? I don't. I just simply don't. What I do is I seek my highest self. I seek my highest self. And I seek that going within, listening, being still. When you be still, divine, when you be still, then can you manipulate energy. It's by being still that you manipulate energy, not by doing and moving and all that other stuff. It's not moving fast. And this is, if you go to my Instagram, I posted on my Instagram a video from a movie called Holy Man that Eddie Murphy plays in. And if you just go to that Instagram, Marcus Clark, and you look at that video about this boss that owns a very big networking corporation, and he said to the lady, he said, you will do what I say, walk how I tell you to walk, talk how I tell you to talk, and sell what I tell you to sell. And the lady looked at him and said, I will not sell my soul. You don't have to be in the entertainment world, divine, to sell your soul. You can sell your soul to what? To the content, because polarity is the content. Polarity is content and energy. So you can sell your energy to the content. To what is the content then, prophet? Tell me. To the false belief. The false belief that this is the way for you. Like he said to her, you will walk how I tell you to walk, talk how I tell you to talk, sell what I tell you to sell, do what I tell you to do. And if she would have bought into that, then she sold her soul to the content. You're right. This is your network. I work for you. This is the information that I got to follow your information, your content. I got to, no, you don't. You don't have to follow no one's content for the ciphering and draining and suffering of your energy, your soul. Once you do that, divine, because you can sell your soul many ways. I chose not to sell my soul for the pursuit of monetary wealth. I don't care for that. It's not in my DNA. It's not in my information. It's not in my content to want that. It's not. It's not in my content to want that. But what is in my content to want is seeking and searching and reaching my highest self. so that I could communicate with you on a divine level, on a cellular molecular level. So when I communicate, I'm not talking to the conscious mind that's here listening now. I'm talking to the subconscious mind, so that when you go away a year from now, 2 years from now, and you say, oh my God, I heard Prophet Emoji say this before already. Yeah, I heard him say this. Yeah, I heard him say this. But what happened? You didn't act on it. But that's okay. You're never too late. It's never too late to act when the information, when it lights up in you and you act. It's just about acting. So when you allow yourself to hold back and not be vulnerable for a relationship to manifest, you're causing an action and a reaction, which is the law of polarity. You're causing the continuum of one thing. What is the continuum of one thing? Just like I said, you don't have to go to two different faucets to cut on hot and cold water. It's all a continuum of one coming out of the same faucet. When you hold back and you're not and you don't become vulnerable to manifest love in a relationship, then you are also doing the same exact opposite in that very moment in time. You are causing the opposite. You are holding back. When you hold back, just look at it like this. You're holding back on yourself. And not only that, you are communicating on a cellular molecular level to your partner, who you are in direct connect with. You're going to communicate to him or her information, content that they're going to do what? Buy into and believe. And then their energy is going to be either sold out to it or is going to refract from it. Because it's going to be like, yo, this is the communication I was looking for. Or this is the communication I was looking for. But you're going to get divine soon as you soon as you become a hindrance to yourself and trying to manifest love in a new relationship, you're also doing the continuum of the same thing. You are hindering yourself. You are hindering yourself. If you hinder yourself, you are hindering yourself. You are not going to manifest love, but the opposite. Not hate, but a closed off relationship that has no communication. So let's go and do some more of this downloading here, okay? Because I need you to understand something. So I need you to think of your intentions, right? Think of your intentions as an electrical current. Huh? Your heart runs off of what? Your heart runs off of electromagnetic wave pulses. Electromagnetic wave pulses. This is how when you go to the doctor, they put you on an EKG machine. EKG machine. The EKG. When you get put on that EKG machine at the doctor's, you see your heart electromagnetic pulses on the screen. That's what that is. That's what that is. That is your electromagnetic pulses that you are looking at. Those same pulses on that screen, that is an electrical current that runs through you. That is an electrical current that runs through you. You can manipulate energy how you want to, divine. But you are at war with yourself. And you will always be at war with yourself. Why? Why? You will be at war with yourself because you stay one-sided. You see, you're not really plugged in. You're not really plugged into not only this plane that we live on. You're not plugged into this planet that we live on. You are just that person that's just like, this is the way you are. But listen, you are that person that is believing in the content, the one way. This person tells you this is the way, so that's the one way that you believe it is. You don't see many different ways. Or, more importantly, you don't see your own way. This is why you are at war with yourself. Because you keep looking for information, or let me say this, you keep looking for answers. Not information. I like to use answers here. You keep looking for answers. Answers, divine answers. From others who are giving it to you for their way of life. Their one way. See, the answers you get from someone, as I had to discover last year, going on a pilgrimage, the answers you get from them are their answers. It's their content. It's their information that they've bought into and believe, and they sold their soul out to that. Why? Because that's their information. They have every right to sell their souls out to their information, and they try to pass on that wisdom and knowledge to you, and it never works. They give you advice, but the information is not for the long haul. It will not last over the long haul. You can't apply it for 15 and 20 years of your life. Hence why I found myself in 10, 12 different churches. Hence why I found myself in 12 different churches over the course of 12 years. I could not find myself to stay in one church because it was never resonating with me. Something would never resonate. The information, the content was not resonating. Every church I went to was a different content. Why? Because it's just like when I went on that pilgrimage, they were giving me their content. What is their content? The law of polarity says that you have two components of the law of polarity: content and energy. The content is their information that they sold their energy or soul to believe in. That's what they believe in, the way they believe it and how they believe it. It's their information. Why would you dare sell your energy to that which is theirs, my true? Why would you do that? This is what I'm getting at. You're one-sided. You're accepting everyone's information but your own. You're accepting everyone's information but your own, divine, and you need to understand that you were brought here. When my son transcended to his next destination, I didn't cry at his funeral. Because after I did cry when the tragedy was happening, I did cry there. I was human still. And now knowing that, you would say, well, Prophet, you still human. No, I'm not. I'm divine, baby. I'm sorry. I'm divine. I'm not human. I am divine. I am divine, okay? Because I know what's been given to me. And this is why you war with yourself, because you don't want to own your divinity. You don't want to own your divinity, your information that's been given to you. You don't want to own the content that's been given to you. And so your energy is drained and ciphered out by others who tell you this is the content you ought to believe in. And you get up and you go to work every single day for that person because they're giving you their way of belief. They're giving you their content. They're giving you their way of how it is. And you buy into it. You sold your soul and your energy to it. I know it's hard for you, divine, to believe that life can't happen without going to work for someone. Life can't happen without shutting off my feelings. Life can't happen unless I hate someone. Life can't happen if I don't get up and give my energy and my resource and my time to someone else. Life can't happen for you. And this is the paradigm shift. When you understand, the paradigm will happen once you understand and believe. Let me emphasize the word. Once you understand and believe, emphasizing on the word believe. What is believe? To live, to be living, to be living. Once you believe, once you be living. Once you be living your information, divine. I call you divines because I believe you are brought here not because of me, the prophet, not because of me, the prophet. I believe that my information, my content, my DNA is the same as yours. We communicate on a cellular, molecular level. And so we vibe. My electrical current, the electromagnetic heart pulses, the electromagnetic current pulses that comes from my heart is the same pulse. I am plugged into you. This is why I say we are a reflection of each other. One, okay? Because I am plugged. The reason why you are here is because I've plugged into you. The reason why you are here is because I've plugged into you. You didn't plug into me. I plugged into you. And then you plugged into me. But I was the one who plugged into you. Then you plugged into me. You understand? You need to understand that I am here to bring you the information that is inside of you. That you no longer need to sell your soul to anyone. But prophet, tell me this. How can I go to work when I got children and mouths to feed? And how can I not go to work when I got children and mouths to feed, when I need a roof over my head? Let me tell you something. I left in my stories today that this is going to be a 2-topic situation. Now, I'm not going to elaborate on much of the second topic, but I will say this to you. When I came to my awakening, I came to the understanding that divinity is femininity. Divinity is femininity. You understand? To understand how divine you truly are is to understand that it is not the patriarchal society that has been castigated upon us, but it is the matriarch that, and when you look in every domain, in the plant domain, in the animal domain, in the marine life domain, when you look in every domain, it is the mother. It is the mother who is the what? Protector of life. Only in the penguins are the father the protector of life. Only the penguins where you see the father, the protector of life. But the mother is the protector of life, the giver and protector of life. We've been taught that the male, which is okay to believe, we've been taught that the male is the protector of life, when in reality, the male is not the protector of life. In reality, the male is not the protector of life. But the male is actually what the black widow does and the praying mantis does. The male is no longer needed. The male is no longer needed. I don't want to get into this topic today, but I had to touch on it just a little bit. The femininity, and all you got to do is look in the plant world. I just planted some aloe the other day, understanding I got plants. I love plants and I have plants, but I just planted some aloe, so I got my hands dirty and in touch with earth and understood what I was doing. It felt like what I was doing when I was planting my aloe plants. I felt like I was delivering a baby. I had my hands in the earth and it felt like I was inside a woman's vagina, delivering a baby. That's what it truly felt like to me, planting the aloe in the earth. That tells me everything I need to know. But let me get back to this. When you look at the praying mantis and you look at the black widow, they eat their mates after mating. They eat their mates. They kill them and eat them, which kind of creeps me out. But why do they do that? Because this is funny. Because divinity is femininity. Everything in life is matriarchal. Now, let me get off that and go back to my point. Because when you understand that divinity is truly femininity, then will you understand, divine, that you have to become, especially you men, I'm talking to you men right now, that you have to become vulnerable. You have to open yourself up like most women do. When they receive a man, they have to open themselves up. When they're in a relationship, most women are the ones doing the opening up. You understand? It is the women who does the opening. The earth does the opening. You understand? Now watch this. Going back to the law of polarity, understanding that I am plugged into you, you are plugged into me. That is an act of femininity. That is an act of femininity. The plug itself is what? The plug itself is nothing. Your charger, your phone charger is nothing until you do what? Because look at your phone charger. Those two little prongs that you stick inside the socket, they call that the male. If you go to any electrical company, or you work for any electrician, if you are an electrician, or you work for any mechanical type of company, and they got like extension cords all over the place, you'll understand that the plug itself is the male. They call that the male. I know this because I used to work in air conditioning. That is the male end. And the socket is the female end. The plug is nothing without the socket. The plug do nothing. Is when you plug into the information, is when you become vulnerable, is when you open yourself up like a woman. Divinity is femininity. It's when you open yourself up like a woman. Is when you continue to stay open. Some of you women who need to understand that it is a being, stop trying to be like men and understand that this independent thing, not Independence Day, but this independent thing is not something that is that is looked at as something strong, as a strong individual. No, it actually makes you a weak individual, claiming your independence. You understand? I'm independent. I'm an independent woman. No. Understanding that you, the woman, created the male. You, the woman, You, the woman, created the male. You need to understand something. Because it is out of the dirt we came. Even the scripture text says what? That we came from the dirt. We came from the dust. I spoke of this earlier. We came from the dust. Mother Earth, we came from the dust. We came from Mother Earth. We came out of the female. We came out of the mama. We came out of femininity. The earth opened up and allowed us in. And I'm talking about the laws of polarity. How you have to be open, and vulnerable, so you can receive like a socket is open. You look at the socket on your wall, it's open to receive the plug. And it's in the socket where all the power is. The socket holds all the power. The socket holds all the electrical currents. The socket holds all the energy. Divine, understand me. Understand me well. You cannot have yin without the yang, the cold without the hot, the sweet without the sour. Every action has a reaction in the laws of polarity. For those of my divines who are joining me here tonight, I just want you to understand, who are just now joining me, I want you to understand that the laws of polarity is something that we miss in our lives, because the laws of polarity is what again? It is content. This is what it says. The law of polarity is content. It is made up of two components: content and energy. Content and energy. Energy is the feminine. Energy is the feminine. Energy is where the source is. Energy is where the source is. When I plug my plug into that socket, I am going to now be plugging into what they call the female. And this there where I get my energy. I draw my energy. It's there where I get my power. It's there where I get my electrical current. It is from the mama. It is from the mother that I get my power. The four elements of this plane that you are on right now is what? Four of the most powerful things that can wipe out human life. Air. What is it? I call it fear. F-E-A-R. Fire, earth, air, and river, which is water. These things cause floods these things can wipe out life. Fire, air, tornadoes, hurricanes, rivers, floods. earthquakes and sinkholes. These things can wipe out life. Volcanoes. These things can wipe out life. You understand what I'm saying? That when you understand the law of polarity, then you understand how you can own and manifest in your life whatever you want. Because what is the law of polarity? Content and energy. What is content and energy? Information in your soul. So your soul, which is energy, information, which is the content. So you go to so your boss tells you, this is the way it is. This is the way it's gonna be. You're gonna do this, and I don't, or you're fired or whatever. And you say okay. And every time you do that, you sell your soul. But let me get back to a point I wanted to make earlier, when I said, well, Marcus, what am I to do? What am I to do when I don't have a job and I got a family to feed? What does the great scripture say? Says, do I not clothe the lilies of the field? Do I not feed the birds of the air? How much more do I have for you, who is my child? That's the mother speaking. How much more for you do I have, who is my child? My child. You are a child of the feminine. You are a child of the feminine divinity. And so mama provides. You don't have to worry about what you will wear. You don't have to worry about what you will. Don't worry about what you shall eat. Don't worry about what you shall wear. The laws of polarity says this. You don't, listen to me, simple as put. You don't have because you don't give. That's as simple as put. Should I end it now? No, I'm not. It's too good. You don't have because you don't give. Every time you steal from yourself. Every time you lie from yourself, because this is you. You are here. You are the information that you are putting out. The information you are putting out, the content that you are putting out is the power and energy you will receive back. You are, listen to me. You are, let me say it a different way. When you lie, you plugged into the lie. Now, because it comes into your mind. A thought comes into your mind and you buy into it. So, or other words, you plug into the lie. You plug into the lie. And what's going to happen when you take that plug and get inside the current in the socket, huh? But what's going to happen when you take that plug called the lie, or that plug called cheating, or that plug called dishonesty, or that plug called hatred? When you take that plug called hatred and you stick it in that socket, what do you think that power, what do you think kind of power you're going to get back? What do you think kind of energy you're going to get back? Because the law of polarity is content and energy. It's the, hear me and hear me good. It's the, whatever information you put out, when you are plugging into, and when you plug into it, you receive that. That's the power you get when you plug into it. That's the power you get. You plugged into the power of lies. You plugged into the power of cheating. You plugged into the power of hatred. And so when you do that, what you expect, because the law of polarity says there is a reaction and a reaction. And the moment you plug into the power of lie, it's a continuum, as it was said, that the law of polarity is a continuum of one. You do not have to go to two different faucets to get hot and cold water. You can get hot and cold water out of the same faucet. You don't have to buy two different batteries to get the positive and negative on the battery. It's all on the same battery. When you lie, you receive lies back. When you cheat, you receive it right back, as you're doing it to yourself. No one else. I'm giving you this divine message for you, divine, so you can understand that once you start to understand the laws of polarity, the rest of the world will open itself up to you. Did you just hear what I just said? Once you begin to understand the laws of polarity, stop holding yourself back. Stop closing yourself off and open yourself up like the socket. so you can receive. Open yourself up like the socket. So that when the information, when the content is plugged into you, open yourself up like the socket. So when the content and the information is plugged into you, you're getting the information that you have manipulated and you asked for or manifested. You get the information you asked for or manifested. Because the law of polarity is intention. And you must be intentional on the information, or you're going to get the wrong information, the lies information, all that right back, Divine, all of it. Whatever it is you hold yourself back from, you are plugging into a source now with that. Whatever it is you're doing to keep yourself from something, keep yourself from getting higher, going higher, whatever it is you are constantly holding yourself back, withdrawing yourself from. Understand you are not doing it to somebody when you say to that person, oh, I'm not talking to you today. I'm not talking to you today. You think that's hurting that person? Or is that hurting you? It's more so hurting you because you're a person who likes to talk. Or you're a person who likes to talk to that person. You're a person who likes to share content or information. You're a person who likes to open up. But you close yourself off. You close yourself off. And so you no longer receive the information you really want. This is why that person will not call you when you say, I'm not talking to you today. And they say, okay, fine. And they don't pick up the phone to call you, to beg you to talk. They don't pick up the phone to call you to beg you to talk. You know why? Because you giving them, that was the source of information you plugged into. You said, I'm gonna cut you out of my life. I'm gonna shut you off. And that person don't do nothing to hunt you down and look for you the next day and be like, what's wrong with you? Why you didn't do this? Da, 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 da. They don't do all that. You know why? Because they let you have what you want to have. They're not about to buy into your content, your information. They're not about to buy into that. The law of polarity is you get what you ask for. You want silence? You want the silent treatment? You get it. You got it. You want thieving and thievery to happen to you? You got it. And some of you may say, but Prophet, I never, ever, ever stole from anybody in my entire life. And people stole from me. But let me tell you something. To lust for a woman, even in your heart, is still the act of sinning. To think about stealing is still the act. To lust and to even commit adultery in your thoughts, in your mind, is committing adultery in your heart. Committing adultery in your heart, the scripture says that it is still the act of committing adultery. You might as well go, if you do it in your heart, you might as well go through with it. You just might as well go on through with it once you do it in your heart. To lust after a woman is still a sin. And I don't use sin in the same text anymore as I used to use sin. But I use sin now as exactly what I'm speaking about. You can call it karma or whatever. I'm just saying you're getting what you're asking for. If you commit the act of lust in your heart or adultery in your heart, just go ahead and do it because it's done in your heart. You're satisfied. You've been satisfied through the heart. Where a man's treasure heart is, there his treasure will be also. Or where a man's treasure is, there his heart will be also. If your heart is in the place of you getting pleasure from loving to cheat and steal from people, or have sex and sleep around and multiple women and all that, if your heart is there and that pleases you, then that's where you at. Then you're going to get back those same kind of what? Reactions. Because you're plugging into divine. Listen to me. Let me say it again. Because you are plugging into something that is called, what the law of polarity calls, content. Content is information. You are plugging into an information. Let me ask you something. If you walk into a strip club, do you expect to see ballerina dancers in there? If you walk into a strip club, do you expect to see ballet dancers in there? No, you do not. Because that is not the content of that club. That is not the information being put out from that club. There are strippers inside that club. Okay? And so if you walk into it, so if you plug into a strip club, expect to see strippers. This is the law of polarity. If you plug into lies, expect lies to happen to you. Now you may say, Marcus, I never lied to anybody. Prophet, I never cheated on anybody. Prophet, I never stole from anybody. But have you did it in your heart? Whether it was yesterday or yesteryear, it is all coming back, because there is always, as the law of polarity speaks, what? Say it with me. Action and reaction. There is no repercussions or consequences, but action and reaction. That's immediate. See, repercussions and consequences, like your mom used to say, wait till your daddy get home, boy, I'm gonna have him whoop your butt. Those are the consequences of something you did. You got to wait for that whooping. I used to have to wait for my whooping, which made it worse. I don't know if I wanted to. I was like, oh, mama, just whoop me twice right now so I don't have to wait. The wait is harder. I'd rather get 2 whoopings right now from you than wait for later, because the wait is the hardest thing. So I understood not to wait. I understood. I don't see, the law of polarity is not to wait. The law of polarity says you take that back right now. There's an action and reaction. You're going to get what you asked for right now. Right now. So if you cheat, you lie, you steal, you hurt people, you're going to get that right back right now. And it may not affect you physically. It may not affect you emotionally. It may affect you psychologically. It may affect you spiritually. Or it may even affect you on a deeper level. Watch this. Watch this. Because you cannot lie. You cannot lie to the information in you, the DNA in you. So it may affect you on a cellular molecular level. It may affect you on a cellular molecular level, which is most of the times where it affects you at, which is 9 times out of 10 where it always affects you at. And so guess what? Sickness happens inside your body because there was a discomfort when you stole. There was a dis-ease when you stole, and so dis-ease comes into the body. There was a dis-ease when you stole from that person. There was a discomfort when you stole from that person, and your DNA information changed. Because your DNA code is information. And so your DNA information changed as soon as discomfort came in. As soon as dis-ease came in. You invited dis-ease in your body. You've invited dis-ease in your body. So sickness happens to you. You may have stole from anyone. Huh? But why did the Bible say, if you commit the act of it in your heart, go ahead and do it? Because why? Because it already changes the information in your DNA, the content inside of you on a cellular, molecular level. So go ahead and go through with it and satisfy yourself with it. Already divine. Why? Because you've already committed the act in your heart. Where a man's treasure is, there his heart will be also. Where a man seeks pleasure, that's where he's going to go and run to. And that's why the law of polarity is an important law. There is an equal action and reaction after everything you do. So if you commit the thought of stealing from someone, a bad ill feeling towards someone, if you commit it in your heart, you're seeking pleasure in that, number one. But if you commit it in your heart, you've committed the act. And it all of a sudden changes the DNA information inside of you. Huh? You plugged into the source on a spiritual, cellular, molecular level. And it starts to change. And dis-ease and discomfort comes from change or imbalances in your DNA. That's where dis-ease come from. Discomfort come from. It comes from something that you have done that caused the reaction of that. That's why I love the law of polarity, because it says, no, you don't have to wait for the butt whooping right now. I mean, tomorrow, till your day at home. You getting this butt whooping right now when you steal from someone. It never feels good. Your conscience takes that Your conscience takes that on and it tells you that wasn't right. And as soon as you pick up something that ain't yours, or you take from someone that ain't yours, or you hate someone, then guess what? The DNA code changes molecularly inside of you. And it causes a dis-ease. And this is why you say, I don't feel comfortable doing this. I don't feel comfortable doing this. No, you don't feel comfortable doing this. No, you don't. Because it's not right. You see what I'm saying? I know I'm hitting a lot of notes here tonight. And sometimes I like to just, kind of let you know when I'm ending, but not tonight. I'm going to go until I feel you've gotten this in your information. And your information is your DNA, your information, your content. I'm giving you this divine knowledge and teaching right now, divine, because you need to get this when you take this on for you, not from me, but for you. Meaning you are going to have to look at your life, because my answers are my answers. What I have for me and I have to do for me is for me. I can't tell you this is how you do that. I can't tell you how to, because I hate the how-to books. I don't like how-to books. I don't like 7-step books. I don't like 12 steps to this book. I don't like those kind of books. This is how you do something. No, this is not how I do something. Because the information, the content you've been given is different from the content I've been given. The information I've been given. Listen to me. Watch this. Your reaction, your reaction will not be my reaction. Or your actions will not be my reaction. Your action will not be my reaction. I will not pick up on your information because you said to do this and it becomes my reaction. You ever be on a job and you ever have a boss tell you to do a certain thing and you are so afraid that if you do it wrong, you can possibly lose your job? You could possibly be suspended or sent home or something like that? Huh? Why is that, divine? Because you've picked up on the content, his information. He communicated to you on a cellular level what he or she expects. Right? And the moment you change expectations, the moment now I can use the word fail. The moment you fail yourself. This is the moment you fail yourself. Because you would never, now you can use this word never. Whether you are doing it for that moment and you get it right or you get it wrong in that moment. But you will never, divine, be able to please someone and how they see or live life by living or doing things the way that comes from your DNA information, your content that comes from you. You will never be able to please someone in doing things the way that they see it done, because in them, there's a way of how it's done and how they see it done. And even if you get it done and you do it right, it's still not the way they would have did it. Even if, you know the NFL, right? They get rid of players all the time on a consistent basis. Why is this? Because players who've been playing football since they was little kids, all of a sudden can't get a certain play right. And so coaches let them go. They are in fear of messing up a play. They are in fear of missing the field goal. They are in fear of making the wrong turn or something, because they can be pulled off the field and never to play again. They can be traded to another team, never to have a job playing on the field again. This is the fear that they play on by giving you their information. And so there is a reaction to that action. They tell you how it's done and you become almost scared of doing it. And so the reaction comes from your being scared. The reaction comes from your being scared. And so you get nervous before you get on stage, and you can't speak when you get up there. And so you get nervous when you get on the field, and you can't perform when you're on the field. because you bought into the information of that person who told you that this is the way to do it. Yes, if you're a football player and you go on that field and you cannot do it to a T as he asked you to, you must do it to the way that your information tells you how to do it. And I just mean to the best of your ability. And you will go out there being authentic and being honest and being real with you. And then when you do that, you can say, look, I didn't get it right, but I did it to the best of my ability. And you can go out knowing that even if you never get to play on a team again, you could go out knowing that you did it to your strengths and no one else's. I'm not saying go out there and run a different route than the route that they give you. But if you can't perfect that route, which I don't believe in anyway, but you won't be able to perfect that route. And so what? Because you can't. But if you run that route to the way it's been told in you how to do it, it'll always come out almost better than the way that they wanted it. You ever be on a job and the boss tells you, do something like this, and you messed around and you found the quicker, faster substitute way to do it. And even though it still got done and it almost looked better than the way he was telling you to do it, he look at it and say, but that ain't the way I told you to do it. I had this happen to me many times. He look at it and say, but that ain't the way I told you to do it. Even though it got done, and even though it was done, even though it got done, it was done. It looks good, presentational, and it was done in a quicker, faster, efficient time. But because it wasn't the way he did it, this is what I mean by because you don't do it to their information. Just because you might do something to what they say do, but it'll never be perfect. You'll never be able to please, and you'll never be perfect for that person who's giving you the way that their information is telling them how to do it. You understand? And so, I don't want to keep rambling tonight. Oh, God. That's good tea. But I just wanted to give you that, Divine. I did. I wanted to bring you that solid message tonight. I hope that you didn't get too lost in this, because this is something that's going to go on in me forever. I've reached my height, my complete cycle, 12-year cycle. Remember what I said? 12 is the number of completion. I've reached my complete, or 12 is the full cycle, the number of a complete cycle. I took my pilgrimage. I went on my journey. I've been through my doctrines. I've read everything. And some of you may be on a journey similar. But now I understand universal law. I understand spiritual law. I understand theological thesis and all these kinds of things that play into our spiritual growth. I understand psychological analysis and stuff like that. This is nothing that is what I want to say. What is exclusive to me. This is nothing that's exclusive to me. But it's open and affordable to everybody. But the only way you're going to get it, Divine, is if you tap into the content that is inside of you. The law of polarity says that there are two components to the law of polarity: content and energy. Content is the information that you have in you already, the answers. This is why I never say I have the answers for you, but the answers are in you. I'm just tapping, wakening up the information in you so that it can become alive, because it's been laying dormant. And the energy is your soul, your soul. Huh? You understand? So, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go into that dark side of your mind, right? That part of you that is scared to enter, like you about to go into a dark room. Because you war with yourself. And you war with yourself because you're scared of the reaction. You war with yourself because the law of polarity says, whether you knew this or not, the law of polarity says there's an action and reaction, and you war with yourself because of the reaction. You know what's to come. You know that if you take that leap of faith and you jump out there, you know that success may come. You may be scared of success. You know that if you take that journey, you know that nothing but good. Let me tell you something. Some of you, this is why I titled this, you war with yourself. You are at war with yourself. Because some of you know that by taking your journey, you can almost feel every time you think about it, you can feel the excitement in it. But yet you withhold yourself from the journey. Because of what? Because of false information, content. You give no energy to that which pleases you. You give no energy to certain things in your journey that you know to do. Take your journey. Every time you think about your journey, you get these good feelings inside of you, these good vibes inside of you, but yet you put them off. And guess what? The law of polarity says, the law of action and reaction says what? Because you want to put these off, doors will never open. But not only that, because you want to put these off, immediately you're going to feel miserable. So that's what you're doing. You're shutting off the excitement and the feelings that you get from when you think about your journey. And then the moment you do that, then you get the reaction of that. The reaction of it, the opposite of excitement is misery. The opposite of excitement is misery. Because you don't take your journey, the law of polarity says, here's misery for you then. Because you don't open yourself up when you get into a new relationship and you know this is the one you want, and you know that this is, you want to take this to a deeper level. Because you don't open yourself up in this relationship, you know that what? That you're not going to get love. You're not going to see the love you want. Because you're giving it an action, which causes an immediate reaction. So this is why many of you say, oh, there's no good men or good women out there. Or some of you may say, the right one haven't come along yet. Well, why even speak that kind of language? The right one hasn't come along yet. Why? So you know why the right one will not come along and never come along? Because you keep saying the right one hasn't come along yet. Start switching up your language. Start saying the right one will come along, and the law of polarity will give you the exact opposite of that. The law of polarity will give you the exact opposite of that. There is no hot without cold. The moment you say the right one has come along, then the right one comes along. The moment you say the right job is here, or I got the right job, or I got the right career, or I got the right business, this is the right idea, then the right idea and everything that comes from it manifests. But every time you say the right one ain't come along yet, the reaction happens from that. The right one will never come along because you're giving yourself information. Your DNA is playing into an information. Exactly why I said before, this is why dis-ease and discomfort happens in your body. When you steal and you lie and you cheat, and when you cheat yourself. When you think about your journey and you still say, oh, next year, next year, next year. You're cheating yourself. And so the law of polarity says, well, since you keep putting off excitement, I can only give you the opposite, because on a battery, you got positive, you got negative, you got hot, you got cold, you got sweet, you got sour, you got happy, sad, you got excitement, you got misery. This is the polar opposites, the polarity, the law of polarity, polar opposite. Why you hear people say we are polar opposites? Polar is the shorter word of polarity. We are polar opposites. You understand? So you got to understand. You're polar opposites. It's hot, cold, sweet, sour. You understand? Salt, pepper, whatever. But the opposite. Excitement, misery. So you need to start thinking about this. You do. Every time you hold back, immediately start thinking about what you are doing to yourself on a cellular, molecular level. And start thinking about what you are doing every time you hold yourself back from something. Every time you stop yourself from doing something that makes you feel good. Every time you know that taking the journey is going to be the best journey and step that you take in your life. Every time you stop doing that, your cellular and molecular system is already going to start changing the DNA information, the code in you. And then Because the law of polarity is in effect the moment you make a decision about something, the moment you start or you make a choice about something, the law of polarity is already in effect. And so the moment you say to yourself, no, I'm not going to do it just yet, I'm going to wait till next year, or I'm going to wait till I get the money never comes. You don't even understand what you're saying, what you're doing. When you do this, the money never comes because you keep saying the money it ain't here yet. I ain't got the money yet. I ain't got the money for that. And you'll never have the money for that. Every time you do stuff and say stuff like that, I want you to think about the exact opposite of what you, soon as you say it, catch yourself and then think about the opposite. Because that's what you're getting. That's what you can't, and you can't do nothing about it now. Unless you change that information and say, you know what? F that, I'm going ahead and go do that. But guess what? Now the energy, see, this is deep, y'all. This is why I can't just shut this off right now. And guess what? Now the energy, the same energy is not there anymore. When you had the thought, and if you would have acted on it when you had the thought, the energy that was there was opening up the pathway for you. But when you stop to say, no, I'm not going to do it, and then you change your mind and say, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. The energy, the same energy is different now. The energy, the energy that was there for you when you had the initial thought is no longer there. Now the energy is different. And then now you might as well not do it because you don't even know what you're going to be walking into now. You should have acted the moment you had the idea, the moment you had the thought, because there was a creative energy in that. The law of polarity is at work in that. If you act on it, the reaction that you already have with the initial thought, the reaction that you are seeking with the initial thought, the reaction that you are asking for with the initial idea in mind, if you act on it right then and there, you're going to get exactly what you was hoping for and excited for. You're going to get exactly what you was hoping and excited for. And you say, no, never mind. And you go the other way. And then you say, you know what? Let me go ahead and do it. It's too late now. It's too late now. This is why this is important, Divine. This is why this is important. Because you change. You're, as I said earlier, this is why forensic science is so successful. Because you can commit a crime and you mess around and leave evidence at the scene, like DNA evidence, and they take the DNA and they look at it and they understand it. That DNA is information. It's information codes. Codes is there is only one unique way to unravel this, or one unique way to open this safe. There's only one unique way to open this vault. There's only one unique way to lace up this dress or whatever. Every fashion designer is different. There's a unique difference in every fashion designer. You understand? There is only one unique way. And so your DNA information is unique to you. And so forensic science can find evidence of your DNA left at a crime scene and understand that this is you because this information is unique only to you. This DNA information, that DNA they pick up, that's information. It tells them who it belongs to. It's communication. Everything is communication. Everything is communication. Everything. When you have that initial thought, you should act on it. Because the creative energy, this is why the law of polarity says you got content. The two components of law of polarity. The law of polarity is content and energy. Content and energy. The moment you get the content, the moment you get information, the moment you get the idea, the moment you get thought, the moment you get the excitement about something, it's important that you act on it right now. Because the energy is creatively there right now for it. With the excitement, with the hope, with the doors opening, with the successes that you are seeing. It's all there in that moment, in that space, in that time. And so my people perish because they lack a vision. Because they don't see that happening for them. And so you perish. So your vision perish. You perish away. Your ideas perish. And then it'll be too late for you to even try to go back. If you say, no, you know what, never mind. Let me go ahead and just do it now. then the same energy is not there anymore. The same excitement is not there anymore. You've had that done to you before. You've done it before. When you wanted to go out to dinner with your husband or your friend or somebody, and you had this great excitement about going out with them, and then they all down and they bringing you down and all that kind of stuff, and then they making you feel like it ain't even worth going, and then you say, all right, you take off your dress or your shoes, and then they say, you know what, let's go, come on, I don't want to, because I don't want to hear your mouth later, and you say what? No, it's too late now. It's late now. Why you say it's too late now? Because the same excitement is not there anymore. The same energy is not there anymore. So you say, no, it's too late now. I don't want to go. Go ahead and watch your game. Go ahead and watch your game. And hopefully Kobe Bryant and LeBron James can give you something. Oh, God. All right. So I'm just being funny on this one. But you feel what I'm saying? Why you do that? Because the same energy, Divine, is not there anymore. Huh? You was all excited about going. And now and your man or your girl say, oh, I just don't feel like it. And they bring you all down. You take your shoes, your dress off. You be like, all right, come on, man. I don't want to hear your mouth later. Come on. Be like, no, sit your ass down. I don't care no more. Go in there and eat you some noodles, right? I was going to pay for dinner. Shit, go and eat you some noodles. Go in there and get some out the cabinet. I hope you can cook, man. Go in there and do something. Eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, huh? The energy is gone. The excitement is gone. The thrill is gone. You understand? The thrill is gone away. That's the law of polarity. Action and reaction. Oh, I want to go. And then he took all the excitement. And then what? The reaction comes. And then what his thought is, or her thought is, their thought is, oh shit, I don't want to get the reaction of you being mad at me. It's too late. The immediate reaction came as soon as he came with the, I don't want to go. And then your reaction came from it. That's a proven fact of the law of polarity. There's action and reaction. Huh? That's a proven fact. It's happened to many of you. You just never saw it as action reaction. You just never saw it like that. Action reaction. You say, let's go out, baby. No, I want to finish watching the game. Well, screw you. I don't want to go no more there. And you take the dress off and all that good stuff. And that's the reaction. Now he gets none tonight. Now he gets none. He don't get none. You shouldn't either. Okay? Anyhow, my point is about to come to a close. I think I gave you enough of this, Divine. I want to say this before I get out of here. I'm done with the polarity thing. I think you got enough of it. I think the information has stuck and made its landing. I think it made its landing. I wanted to get it so ingrained in your subconscious that it's going to hit you a year later. You're going to be like, you know what? The prophet was talking about this. But I want to talk about that while I got you here. This is a serious matter to me. I explained this in the beginning of this podcast, but I'm going to explain it again for those who may be just joining a little late. I have been on a 12-year journey from 2006 to now. 2 days ago was my 35th lunar cycle. Okay? We call that birthday, but I spell it Bearth. It's like Earth, but a B in front of it. That was my birthday. July 3rd was my 35th lunar moon cycle, which makes 12 years from 2006 till now. And 2006 is a significant number for me because it was the year I lost my 4-month-old son to a very tragic house fire. A baby should never have to go out that way. And especially not on Christmas Day either. And that's when he went on Christmas Day. Okay? I don't want to get into details about how and what and all that good stuff. I just know I got to explain this to you before I get off. In that 12-year cycle, in that 12-year journey from 2006 to now, the moment I lost my son, I was never in church before. But I got into church, religion. I became a Christian with the 2 air quotes I got right now holding up. I became a Christian. I'm no longer subscribed to the Christian faith or the Christian reality or religion. I am what I call a student of Jesus Christ, because I believe that his teachings are the most enlightening teachings on this planet out of all the philosophers and theologians and spiritual doctrines I've read. I believe Jesus has the highest forms of teachings on this planet. What is his teachings? His teachings are of love. That's that's the crux of Jesus' teachings. The spiritual, what is the nine fruits of the spirit? Huh? It is what? Love, peace, self-control, kindness, meekness, humbleness, all that. Right? That's the crux of his whole message, his whole life. Is love. Love thy neighbor as you love yourself. But the greatest in this one is to love, right? So, watch this. The greatest of these is love. So, I want you to understand. In that 12-year journey from 2006 to now, I'm at my 35th lunar cycle. I have went on a pilgrimage seeking answers, because when I lost my son, I was definitely searching for God. And I was seeking answers into why he had to go, and then I had to understand what life was about. And so this journey to awakening, I came into this journey of awakening, and then I came into this journey of soul searching and seeking out who I was and who I am. And I've had many identities. I've had many identities, and what I mean by that is I became many different people in those 12 years of trying to shape and mold myself into this complete vessel while I'm on this plane. Okay, I call it a plane because the planet is plane it. Okay, while I'm on this planet, because on this planet, now that I'm in my vessel, now that I'm in my complete, now that I've made my complete cycle, and again, 12 is the number of complete cycles, but also is the number of studentship, discipleship, which is why you got the 12 disciples. Studenthood, it's learning, it's always learning. That's why I say I'm not a Christian, but I am a student of Jesus Christ. I'm a student of his teachings. I seek his teachings first and foremost before I seek any other teachings. This isn't a religious thing, and it's not about Christianity, or it's not about infusing you with this doctrine. It's about living out his teachings for me, not for you, but for me. I'm a student of the highest teacher. I love the teachings of Jesus. So people get confused when I say I'm a student of Jesus Christ. People get confused when I say, but why? So that makes you a Christian? No, it doesn't make me a Christian, because that makes me a part of religion and organizations. I'm not a Christian, and don't confuse Christian with being Christ followers. No, I'm a student of Jesus the teacher, not a Christian. Okay, I follow a lot of doctrines, but I'm a student of Jesus. I come from the student of Jesus, like you graduate, a certain class. Anyhow, let's move on before I get out of here. So in that 12-year cycle, and 2 days ago, my 35th lunar cycle passed, which made my 12-year mark of pilgriming, this journey of spiritual awakening and growth, reaching my highest self. I brought you this message because I wanted to share with you why you are at war with yourself. And it's because you don't understand the law of polarity, but more so, not more so, but also you don't understand your divine power. You don't own your divine power. I'm here today, and not today, but it was 2 days ago, really, but I'm here now owning my divine power. And so this is a serious thing to me when I say this. I believe I've been called, and I've actually took tests with some pastors, and they told me I was a prophet, but I don't go off their content, their information. Okay? I take my own information from my own journey. And in my journey, I've awakened 2 days ago to Marcus the prophet, but it's not Marcus the prophet. I just awakened to the prophet in me, believing that I am the prophet. a prophet of God, a prophet of God. And so I was giving myself the title, the self-title, The Enlightened Poet. But no longer am I just a poet. I'm a messenger. I give messages in my poetry, but I'm a messenger. A messenger of who? A messenger of God. I love the quote by Neil Donald Walsh, when Neil Donald Walsh said in his book Conversations with God, he said Jesus was God made man, but he wasn't the only man made God. I'm here today owning my divine power, telling you, if you don't step up and claim and own your divine power, guess what? The law of polarity will stay in effect in your life. You see, because I say and I claim and I own my power, my divine power, because I do that, guess what? Things move for me. This is how I manifest what I want in life right now on a spiritual, emotional, and physical level. Because I've claimed my divine power, and because I've claimed it, my mentality, my emotional state, and my spiritual state, it exudes out of me. And people are hit with that kind of power when they come into my energy field, they come into my stratosphere or my environment. People are hit with power. They can feel my power, feel my essence, because I made claim to it. And until you claim your divine power, you are always going to get the opposite, because the law of polarity is there is a opposite from an action into a reaction. And if you have the action of, oh, I'm not that powerful, I leave that in the hands of God, I'm gonna leave that in the hands of God, then guess what? You are going to get the opposite. You're going to get a total of zero. A total of zero. Because God said what? Idle hands or idle mind is the devil's workshop. An idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you keep thinking and keep allowing and keep projecting your thoughts and your ideas out to God, as if God is saying, God say what? Faith without works is dead. But I always like to say this. God say, be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Watch this. All you got to do, divine, is be still. And then you will see things move into your life. That's controlling and owning your power. Be still and you will see things move for you in your life. When I got that, when I understood the power of being still, I learned the power of manifestation. I learned just the word. I learned about power, period. Being still. So, I'm not just the enlightened poet. Yeah, you can, I use that because I use that for other reasons, but I'm a messenger. And so I take this seriously when I say this, divine. I am the messenger of God. I take this to my heart. I take this to my grave, that I am the messenger of God. And so I've self-proclaimed the power in the name Prophet Emog, which is emoji, kind of like the word emoji. When you see it, it's emoji. It's not Emog, it's emoji. Emog, emoji, which is the enlightened messenger of God. That's right. I take this truly serious to my heart, to my core. After having my 35th moon pass me by, I learned and woke up to a higher self. A shift took place, and I realized I was hoping to death. When I was seeking answers for my son's death, and I heard the voice of God, and I saw my son's face hover over me. Soon as my son, listen to me, soon as my son, I couldn't do nothing about his life when he was trapped in the house. And as soon as I knew, firemen come out and tell me, His life was, we could do nothing about him. He's gone. As soon as I heard them say that, I looked up into the sky and I saw my son's face and I saw him smiling. You know why I saw him smiling? Because what was woken up in me was the fact that I knew that what we stand here on today, this planet I call a plane, this is just designed to take us somewhere else, somewhere higher, to our highest self. And when I saw my son smiling, I saw my son in his highest self. And I knew that that was the power of God in me. I knew I held the power in me. I knew that my son, who did not know, that's why he said, until you come to me like a child, you will not enter the kingdom of heaven. See, children are innocent. And so they go where? They go to their happy place when they pass at a young age, or they transcend. They go to a happy place. So when I looked up in the sky, I saw my son's face. He had a smile on his face, a big cheesy, laughing smile on his face. And I knew right then and there, my son was in his happy place. And I say to you, you can go to your happy place, because there is no such thing, divine, as hell unless you make it. Now watch this, and I'm out. There is no such thing as hell, because an idle mind is the devil's workshop. The moment you start to allow yourself to say, this isn't for you, the moment you allow yourself to say, I don't have the power, the moment you decide yourself, you start to say to yourself, it's not me, I can't do it, I leave it in God's hands. The moment you don't take control of that power, divine, the moment you gave power and control to the polar opposite of God, which is who? The devil. And that's his playground. That's his workshop. The moment you don't take control of that power, the moment the law of polarity comes into effect, and this is why I said, this is why you war with yourself. I came up with the title because it says that we war not against flesh and blood, but against principalities of a darker evil, of a darker and wicked world, of spiritual places. So when you don't take control of your power, your divine power, then the law of polarity comes into place. The polar opposite happens. You give power and control to your lower self, your most saddest state, your most angry state, your most hate-filled state, your most jealous state, your most envious state, your most greed and gluttony state, your lower self. My son transcended, and I saw him in a high place, and I saw him smiling. No one can take that picture that's ingrained inside my mind of what I saw. I looked up in the sky and saw my son's face. No one will be able to take that image out of my head, because I know what I saw. And until you have an encounter with a loved one that close to you like that, then I don't think you're going to see what I saw. And if you had someone like that pass close to you like that, then maybe you saw that. But it'll only be when you have the action in mind that he has gone to a better place. Then will his face appear with a smile. That was the reaction of when I heard the firefighter say, we've lost him. That was the reaction of when I heard the firefighter say, we lost him. I then looked up into the sky and knew he was in place. That was the action. The reaction was his face appearing to me with a smile. The idle mind is the devil's workshop. If you keep allowing your power to be in the hands of all these other things, divine, then will you get the opposite, which is your lower self, the devil, if you call him the devil. I call it your lower self. Because on this plane, we are here to reach our highest self. Again, planes are designed to take you high, take you far, and take you to the next destination, your destination, a new destination. Planes are designed to take you somewhere. We are living on a virtual plane. We are passengers on a plane that we call a plane-it. And to be on this plane and own your power, you must believe. You must be living. You must believe by be living. Be living, believe. Okay? And then you will see the power. All right? I'm out of here. Appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. It's been a long one. I don't see how I didn't like fall off. But appreciate you again. I do want to remind you, I don't ask y'all for nothing. I don't ask y'all for no money. I don't ask for nothing. I don't do this for money. I don't ask for money. All I ask is that you just go to the enlightenedpoet.com website, look around, shop around, do whatever. I don't ask for money, but just go look, hang out. And I also ask you to come to the free seminar lecture where I will be doing August 6th, St. Petersburg College at 6 p.m. Gibbs Campus, St. Petersburg Gibbs Campus Library. Let me say it correctly. St. Petersburg College Gibbs Campus Library. August 6th, that's a Monday night, 6 p.m. I'll have some refreshments there for you. It's a free lecture. You can go to Qonsciousmindz /Eventbrite and get a ticket. It's a free lecture. I like to call it again a class because as a student becomes a teacher, he begins to do what? Teach. And so it's a class. All right. This is the 12 divine spiritual truths. There's 12 pyramids of divine spiritual truth. To be or not be enlightened is to be or not to be enlightened is the name of the class. And I'm going to be waking up to you the 12 completed cycles of the journey I took for the 12 divine spiritual truths. These are the 12 divine spiritual truths. If you was here the other night, you heard me give 2 of them. I'll give them to you tonight, but I'm only going to name the titles of them. Number 1, you must seek adventure. Number 2, have a healthy perspective. That's to give you a snippet. We got 10 others to come. And this is going to be excitement if you just show up. Trust me. All right. I appreciate you being here again. See you on the other side, divine. This is, I am the prophet. The prophet. Get used to saying that. Say it with me. Say prophet. Say prophet. Prophet. The prophet. Emoji. Yeah. Emoji. The enlightened messenger of God. That's me. Get that stuck in your head because I won't answer if you call me anything else. Just won't. It's not disrespect if you call me anything else because I ain't that uptight. But I prefer and ask that you respect my mind because I'm on a journey. And I need you to respect my mind on this journey. Okay? All right. Appreciate you. Be back here again next time. I'll be doing a podcast pretty much every night until I see it may be too much. And then I'll do it every other night or once a week. But I have been staggering them for a while. I feel like I can do them every night because the content is there. The information. All right. Appreciate you again, Divine. See you on the other side. This is the prophet emoji. Do what I ask. See you again. Have a blessed morning, I guess. Peace.